Right, first thing I noticed, which had me a little bit worried, let me just get the light up there. Right, if you can see the orientation of the arrows on that and on this one, obviously you've got arrow at the top, but that arrow on the bottom is facing the opposite way. How are you doing, everyone? Welcome back to, sorry about the shake, got a bit excited there on the table. Shouldn't be doing that because it's late, the family are asleep, so I need to keep this quiet. Yeah, this video is a HIU repair, which I done last month. Absolutely buzzing because I've never done a repair on HIU like this before. I have worked on them before, but most of the times it's been like a seized pump, or it's been an external control issue like a zone valve or something like that. This was the first time I actually had to change a component on the HIU, and you'll see how I diagnose the fault, because I'm not a HIU specialist by any means, but I literally just followed the pipework and I kind of got to the point where I thought I'd identified the faulty part, and I got it right and got the new part. It was an expensive part, just shy of 400 quid, so not cheap. So it was a pretty big risk for me to, pretty big bit of a punt for me to do this, but it all worked out in the end. So I was really happy with it. Even more so, the customer was really happy with it as well, because they'd been without proper hot water for 6 weeks or something like that. And yeah, I don't know who's been looking after this block of flats before, but I've landed myself a pretty decent number here, which I'm quite happy with. So I know I said it before on when I think I've done a shorten or something, where I want to try and see if there's maybe like a training course to get more information about HIUs, how it works, and if there's servicing aspects, or just getting to know what the parts are, what the different components are, how they work, so that I'm not having to guess or do calculated guesses. I like how I work my way around boilers. I want to be able to work my way around HIUs if I'm going to be sort of working on them more often than not. So anyway, look, watch the video, see how I follow the process. I basically applied the same process as when I'm fault finding on a boiler to the HIU, and that's how I found out what the faulty part was able to get it ordered and go back and carry out the repair. And yeah, there's no clickbait thumbnail or anything, or clickbait title in this video. It is literally, I'm chuffed with the result of this one. It worked a treat, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you find it useful. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, so we have here a HIU. So this is a block of flats in Enfield where I get a lot of calls for, because I think I fixed one of them a few years ago, and ever since then my number's been passed on here. So every time there's a problem with heating hot water issue, I get a call for it. So I've managed to fix all of them so far. So let's see if I can keep my winning streak going. So on this one, heating's working absolutely fine. So I've got a central heating pump here. This one isn't zoned off. Some of them I've been to, they've had separate zones for different areas, but this one I don't think it's zoned off, or if it is, the zones might be up there, but heating's not an issue. Problem we've got here is with the hot water. So they've got hot water at the shower, but all the other tap outlets, it's cold. So I'm suspecting it might be this. Now, I don't know if that was connected anywhere, because this looks like it's going to be a mixing valve, because it's obviously you've got your cold feed coming in from there, going into here. That pipe there is going, where's that going? That's going here, round, and coming out this plate. So this is our hot water heat plate. This is our heating heat plate. So you've got two plate heat exchangers on this, rather than having a main heat exchanger. Well, technically that's the main heat exchanger, and that's the plate heat exchanger for the hot water. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to run the hot taps, and I want to see if this does anything, and I'm going to see if we're getting a temperature rise coming out of here, and see if potentially this is faulty and it's allowing too much cold water to come through, or if it's another issue
elsewhere. Let's do some tests. Right, so made some progress. Basically just followed all the pipework around, found out what's going on, what's not. This is basically a manual TMV, so that was wound in quite a bit, so I've wound that out all the way for now just to test it. What I also found was this was wound down, and I believe this is like, again, I'm not a HIU specialist, but I've worked on a few of them, so if I get the names of the valves wrong, just drop a comment below and correct me. So this was wound down, and that was stopping the heat from returning back. So I've unwound that, so that's now allowing heat through as well. This valve here was also wound all the way in, and I was getting heat to the valve, but after the valve, ooh, see, that's hot now, I can't put my hand on it. Yeah, plate's cool down, that's fine. So I was able to hold these were freezing cold. So this was basically coming down from, where are we? I'm going to trace all the pipes back now. This pipe here, so that's your primary. That was going here, and was only allowing it to go to the plate this way. This way you've got an arrow pointing to the left, and there was no heat going this way. I've opened that out fully. Now there's heat going this way, and now it's circulating, and we've got hot water coming out the hot taps, but I'm not 100% satisfied yet because it's coming out about 38 degrees tops, which is fine for washing up and stuff, but ideally if you just want fully hot, it should be more, and then obviously you should be able to mix it with the cold. I was getting heat returning back on the primary return up there, but it was on and off, so I am uncertain whether it's going to be a problem with the plate, if that's all scaled up inside, or there's this valve here, which again, I'm not 100% sure what it's called. It looks like some kind of distribution, like a mini header. So you got flow incoming, flow outgoing. So I'm going to be taking some pictures. I'm going to call the manufacturer and find out a little bit more information about what the valves are, what they're doing, if there's any adjustments I can make, or if anything needs replacing. And then I'm going to come back and try and get this working with optimal efficiency and how it should be. So keep you guys posted how we get on with this. We're better off than we were. Customers got better hot water than they had before. Now I just want to come back and make sure it's working exactly how it's supposed to. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. Okay, so back at this HIU, I've got the new PM valve. So if you remember last time, the valve I was suspecting was that brass one at the back there. And I've had it confirmed that that is the part that's at fault. So got myself a new PM valve. These are not cheap, but this is what's meant to be the problem. And that should, once this all done, that should sort everything out, I've been told. So let's hope that is indeed the case. So I'm going to be stripping this out. And let me just make sure it is all exactly the same as all. But yeah, I'll make sure it's exactly the same valve. But other than that, I'm going to strip this out, recharge the expansion vessel, clean any of the strainers that I can see, give it a service, and then pop that all back together. And hopefully that should resolve all the issues. Right, first thing I noticed, which had me a little bit worried, let me just get the light up there. Right, if you can see the orientation of the arrows on that and on this one, obviously you've got arrow at the top, but that arrow on the bottom is facing the opposite way. So I was thinking, right, I got a bit worried, but luckily there's a couple of grub screws on this side, so I've loosened them off, and that allows me to basically spin that. So now I can make sure that's in the same orientation as that one up there. So yeah, did get me slightly worried that have I ordered the right one, but yeah, I can spin it around, so that's good. And then this air vent or bleed nipple on the bottom, that's just the connection there, so that will come off, and there's the bleed nipple elbow is actually up there on the plate, so I'll probably try and replace that on there. But yeah, at least I've managed to spin that around. So I've just drained the pressure out the HIU. The drain point is up here for the system side. So I'm now I need to remove the vessel so I can get to the PM valve back there. So undo this wing nut here. I am probably going to undo, I think, this connection because I don't know if there's a washer in here. That doesn't look like a normal size washer. That looks like it could be a 3/4 inch fibre washer, which I do have. But yeah, I could try and undo that, but I don't want to risk it just in case if there's a special size washer in there, which I don't have. So I'll undo it from this connection, get that vessel out. I think there's nothing else holding the vessel in. No, it's just that and that. So I'll be able to get the vessel out, and then I'll be able to get to that. Now on the domestic side, I can't see another drain point anywhere. There's a little blank here. Now I'm not sure if that's a strainer or if that's another drain point in there, but maybe once I get this out, I'll be able to see. Look, there's a little draining bit that goes on the end of that. But yeah, washing machine hose does the same thing. So let's get the vessel off first, and then we'll see if we can get, if that gives us enough access to that. If not, I'll see if I need to remove anything else. Right, I end up having to undo that connection because I can't actually get this out of this plate. It wasn't budging, but I can see that's in with an O-ring. So once I put it back together, hopefully that O-ring, I'll grease it up and it should all be okay. I will change that fibre wash on that side now that I've disturbed it. But yeah, now it looks like I've got plenty of access to the PM valve. So hopefully I should just be able to work straight off of it from here. Okay, so I've got all the connections undone there. This is what someone was telling me about, that there's a spring underneath here, which is what fails apparently. So I've undone that spring there. You can see it's just kind of popped out. So now I'm going to undo this rubber line clip. That should allow me to get the valve out, and then I can look at rebuilding it by putting the new valve in. I'll see if I can get access to the bleed point at the back there and replace that as well. And in fact, before I put it back together, I'm going to see if there's any other strainers anywhere else that I need to take out and clean, etc. But so far it's going okay. Right, so there's the old PM valve that's out, and here's the new one. So that will literally, it's exactly the same size, all the same connections. So just got to undo that. Now that I believe is what will go on there, but that's a yeah, no, I've got 2 female threads on here. You know, there's that spring bit. So yeah, where that's got 2 female threads, on this I've got 1 female and 1 male thread. So yeah, that won't replace that. So that will just basically come off. This will basically go back in place of that one. Exactly where this is, obviously change the washers, but before I put it back, strainers. Like I said, there's a blanking plug there. I don't know if that's a strainer. That's definitely going to be a strainer in there, so I'll get that open. Those look like just blanking points, so I'll get that open, but I can't see any other strainers. I don't think that's a strainer in there. I might just open it just to have a look anyway, just to be on the safe side. Any other strainers, anything else that could need cleaning out? No. Oh, that strainer there. All right, cool. Let's do that. Okay, so I've got this one open here. Now I don't know how clear it comes up in the camera, but yeah, the strainer is clear. There's a little bit of debris in there, so I'm just going to wet back that out. So yeah, that strainer is clear. I'll do the same with this one and then see what's going on. Okay, PM valve, new one is in. Those two were not easy at all because there's not much movement on that flexi pipe there, so I had to get that in first. But then when that was in, I don't know how much it came up on the time lapse. I was really struggling to twist it and get that one. You can see how much I'm sweating just by trying to get that valve back in. But yeah, that's all back in now. I'm going to pop the vessel back on, open up all the valves, and then we'll give it a test run, and hopefully that's sort the problem out. Right, unit's back together. I haven't pressurized it yet. I've opened the primary flow and returns, the district heating, cold in, hot out, and I've got hot tap running. That hot outlet, oh, that is already a lot hotter than what it was before. So remember, I had 38 degrees or so coming out the hot tap last time as a maximum. Love that. Look at that. Over 50 degrees. I think the lens is steaming up. 56. Yes, it's done. Fixed it. Such a great feeling. When you fix something that you don't regularly work on, you have no idea what it is, you get some advice from other people, you come back, tackle it, heads on, sorted it. Love it. I love it. I love it.